What's going on out there, everybody? Scuba Steve, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing good, bud. Eddie Morrison, good to see you on here, man. Good, Scoop. I'm glad to hear that, bud. Glad you're doing good. I'm doing really good. I've been doing a lot of naked rain dances, and they're not seeming to work anymore, so I don't know what I want to go to next, but we can't get any rain. Rick, what's going on, bud? Get a few people on here and we'll fire this thing off. Talk about something a little different tonight. Good deal, Scooby. Got all your plots in. I'll tell you what, man. I got mine in on the 15th of August. Supposed to have rain that night. Didn't get hardly anything. Haven't had nothing since. They're up about 2 inches, and that's about all they are, and not looking good. So we don't get any rain here in the next couple of days. I'm gonna go in there and disc over top of them and get ready to plant some cereal rye, some fall, winter, spring, something, just something to give me something green in there if we get the rains coming in. Rick, I hear you. Everybody's waiting on rain. The rain is horrible this year. I mean, we're in a drought all the time, but man, this year just seems crazy. Betty, I'm glad your plots are looking good, bud. I hear from people all day long, and it's kind of about a 70-30 kind of in there. 70% of the people are waiting for rain, and the other ones are their plots are looking great, doing great, wanting to spray Jolt and Clover Fuel and all that, keeping going good. And here we are praying for rain. Jason, your plot's up 2 inches, need rain. I hear you, bud. Eddie, you're in northern Ohio. Good. I'm glad you're getting some rain up there. I wish you'd send some our way. Us here in Illinois and where I'm at here, and all the people I know from Iowa, Iowa's getting burned up bad, especially northern Iowa. They're getting burnt completely up. Well, heck, let's just fire this thing off and get going here, guys. You know, this whole year I've been coming on here talking about planting food plots, using deer minerals, stuff like that. And that's the stuff I love to do, stuff we need to do. If we're looking for to build a healthier deer herd, they definitely increase your odds of doing that. So, we're getting into the time where we should have our plots growing good. Some of us do, some of us don't because of lack of rain. Uh, but for the states that can actually supplemental feed, use minerals, use attractants, anything like that, it's getting that time of year. For the people that like to hunt over them, or the people that just use it for supplemental even after the season's over. So tonight I'm going to kind of talk about, a supplemental feeding program, not so much as in a hunt over program, but what's the best way to get your deer herd through the winter, get them back in the spring, get them 100% so that they give you 100% that next year. And we have some awesome products that do that. Uh, but let's start off, with what we're planting right now. This spring we planted, mostly everybody's going to be planting their clovers, their chicories, their alfalfas, their peas. Some people are going to be planting corn. So you're getting a mixture there of high protein and high energy food sources. That's something these deer need all through the year, especially the growing season. They need that protein to build that healthier rack. But what a lot of people don't realize is a deer needs to be 100% coming out of winter, going into that spring growing season to give you 100%. The only way you can do that is give that deer the proper amount of energy and the proper amount of protein and a good digestive aid, such as what we have, to get them back to 100%. So they're getting their proteins out of the clovers, the alfalfa, stuff like that, that we're planting spring and even planting in the fall. Some guys are planting in the fall. Then our fall plots, most of them are going to be running, unless you're planting their clovers and alfalfas, they're going to be running high energy food sources, such as like our honey hole, slam dunk, uh, our lights out, fall, winter, spring, southern greens. I mean, any of them like that, grade 8, all of them right there, we're going to be a very high energy food source to get them deer that's going to lose that 20 to 30% body fat through the rut. Not only the bucks lose that weight, but the does also do. So we're wanting to put that fat back on them deer, the bucks, but we're also wanting to fatten them does up and getting them healthy as they can be, so they can, for nursing and everything else, come after they have their fawns and stuff like that. So one thing that you really need to look at, I know people's heard me say it a million times on here, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but you really got to watch the protein level that you feed these deer. The higher the amount of protein, you're good to go through that spring growing season. Into the summer, they start losing that velvet. You need to get that protein cut back down to about a 16% or less. A deer can only utilize 16% protein without burning fat off its body. So the last thing you want to do in the winter months is give that deer a high protein food source over 16% and be burning fat off that deer's body while he's trying to put it on with the other high energy food sources that he's taking in as well. So, if you look at our products, we have our rack maker, let's just look at it right here. We got pretty simple one right here, guys. The rack maker is a feed that we brought out a few years back that is it's pretty much the best of everything that you need to give these deer exactly what they need. And excuse me. Oh. I mean, it's got everything in it that it needs. It has the digestive aid built in with it. I mean, these deer are going to get exactly what they need out of this product. A lot of people look at it, hey, let's just go buy straight corn. Straight corn is high in energy, but it's the hardest thing on the deer's digestive system. You got to give them some kind of digestive aid if you want them deer to be able to store that grain properly. So either mixing a product like our rack maker, our attractant fuel, our deer and elk pellets, mixing something like that in with your corn, or even our lick magic. You got to have something there to help them deer store that corn properly. Do not feed them straight corn. That is the worst thing you can ever do to a deer. So the rack maker is just something that we came up with. It's very similar to our Graniac block, which is, to me, the #1 block on the market. It's definitely our #1 selling product. We can't make enough of them quick enough. But the rack maker is going to be an all-season food source, 16% protein. You don't have to worry about the deer getting too much protein while they're intaking the energy levels that are actually in this product. They're going to get that energy, they're going to get that fiber, and they're going to get the proper amount of protein all at one time. Now, in the springtime, if you guys are out there running a feed program, you can mix our high protein deer and elk pellets in with it. You can go ahead and mix like our roasted bean cuisine, which is high in protein, or cotton candy high in protein. You can mix products in like that in the springtime of the year, all the way till they lose their velvet, and pump that protein up if you're doing a year-round feed source, or food source. So this is a very good product that you can use year-round. Like I was talking about the Graniac block. Graniac block is our #1 selling product. I've never seen a block get consumed like I do this one. I would say probably 65–70% of the calls I get in a week's time has to do with this block, and it has to do with people looking for it. They don't realize we have free shipping online, and they're looking at every store around, driving 100 miles to get it, the whole 9 yards. For you guys out there that can't find it, because usually they get hoarded up really, really quick. I had a store take in a pallet of them, which was 120-pound blocks to a pallet. The next day they were gone. So they hoard them pretty quick. They buy them pretty quick. So that's why you're not finding them as much. And we're trying our best to keep up right now, to keep production up, to be able to fulfill all these orders. So that's how this block is actually going. But again, the proper 16% protein, it's got the proper energy to it, it's got the proper fiber to it. This block here is going to give them deer everything they need to go ahead and feed them all through the year, or just when you want to feed them the most. Now let's go to the next one here, since you probably like looking at these pictures a lot better than you do my pretty face. So, let's see here. Show you this one here, attractant fuel. This attractant fuel is an unbelievable product. It's something that we have had for many, many years. If I was going to mix something in with my corn, it would probably be this product here. Number one, is cheaper than the rack maker, but this product here is gonna bump that protein up for that growing season and give them deer everything they need. Now then you got the old, get it out here, the old trusty deer milk pellets. 18% pellet. It's just a hair higher. Great for that growing season, and the deer will just love them. So again, the deer milk pellet, I like telling everybody, even with the rack maker, when you have a product that is grain based, I get this call a lot. When it's grain based, this product will swell if you put it on the ground and you get flooded with rain. It's just because it's grain. A pellet's the same way. It's a grain-based pellet. So they work a lot better out of feeders, either stationary feeders, gravity feeders, slinging feeders. The good thing about our products that have molasses in them, they got dry molasses. It's not a sticky molasses. It's a dry one, not a wet one. So they flow a lot better. But the thing, like you say, you really want to watch is how much protein you give that deer the time of year it is. So early in the year, so when the deer start shedding that velvet, throw the protein to them. After they shed that velvet, get that protein back down to 16% or less, and give them a good energy food source, and you get them deer through really, really well. Talking about the Graniac block, that's a pretty old buck right there. So these deer just love this Graniac block. This guy here, I can't say where he's from or who he is, but he sends me 30, 40 pictures a week of these deer on this property. And if you knew where this property was at, you would never believe they had big deer like this on it. But it's amazing. Now, another thing you can look at, let's look at mineral. Now, unlike me, I can't feed, I can't use mineral or anything. No attractants, no nothing. I can't use anything here in the state of Illinois. But a good mineral program is the best thing you can have for deer, especially one that has a digestive aid built in or something like that. But with our trophy deer mineral, it is the best mineral on the market. I just think I got a slide here, one of my little mineral licks here. Let's look. This is a mineral lick from, actually I didn't put it on here. I had a mineral lick from my Indiana ground over here. I'd give anything if I could run these through Illinois, but I can't. I guess I didn't add it on there. But these deer just hammer them. The trophy deer mineral, if you're looking to build a bigger, healthier herd, that trophy deer mineral right there is a product that started this company 30 plus years ago. It's still the number one selling mineral. It's just low in salt, 24 or 25 different trace minerals and vitamins. It's got all the goodies in it. It's what the deer needs. Now, for the guys that are wanting more of a attractant mineral, you're looking more towards the Lick Magic. If you're wanting to attract them deer in, you're wanting a camera magnet, something like that, or throw it in front of your stand that you're allowed to hunt over in the state you're at. This is a product that's going to give the deer 11 different trace minerals and vitamins, and it's going to give the deer, it's going to give out a very good aroma for the attraction. So I call this more of an attractant mineral, where our trophy deer mineral is the Cadillac of minerals. So that's kind of the two different minerals we have. Now you did see before, probably a lot of you, that we do have our rack maker. And I think I got some right there. Um, the rack maker is actually, I'm sorry, the power rack, not rack maker, the power rack right here. It's actually higher in salt. And what we did is a lot of people don't realize that if you're using a mineral that's over 27, 28% salt, you're pretty much using what I call a camera magnet, attractant mineral, something like that. So you're not going to, the deer aren't going to get the benefit that they need out of that mineral. So because it's not in there, it's too high in salt. Salt takes its place, and all salt is to a deer is candy. It's just like meat and Reese's peanut butter cup. That's what salt is to a deer. So with the trophy deer mineral being low in salt and having the 25 different vitamins and minerals in it, the deer right off the bat will not hit it right off the bat as quick as they will something like the Lick Magic, or if you just put the Power Rack out by itself, because them two products are higher in salt. So they're more candy than they are medicine. So what we have actually done with the people calling in saying, "Man, I dumped your Lick Magic out," or actually this was before Lick Magic. We dumped the competitor's product out here that we know very well and we know have the salt content in, and then our trophy deer mineral over here. He said, eventually they hit them just the same, but they hit the competitors first. Well, that's the difference between 99% salt and 27% salt. So what we did for the people that wanted more of the attractant part with it, we made up the power rack, and it stayed around back of the bag how to use them, a 1 5-pound bag to 1 20-pound bag of trophy deer mineral. Then you got your medicine and your candy all in one. Now, a lot of people ask, why don't you add more salt and just make a bigger bag? It'd be way too heavy. The stores don't want to carry it. It's better off this way right here. Myself on my Indiana ground, I've never used power rack. I don't have any issues at all with the deer hitting the trophy deer mineral right off the bat. I can put it on the ground, and the next night they're in it, if they're not in it that night. So no problem at all. One of the biggest things I see with a lot of people, and this is why I'm not a salesman, because I'll be cutting my own throat right here. Most people out there, when it comes to mineral, they buy and use way too much of it. They think when they pour that out and they see that granule get poured out and they come back next week and it's gone and there's a hole there, they think the deer have ate it all up and they're digging for more and they can't find it. That mineral is made to get, when it gets moisture on it, gets rain on it, to dissolve into the soil, and the deer will paw at the soil to eat it to get the minerals out of it, just like they would with their natural browse or anything else. So I'm running on the property in Indiana. I run 2 bags a year. I put one in February, so when it starts thawing out, it'll start dissolving in. I put one in June. That's all the mineral I run on a 40 acre. I highly recommend one lick per 40 acres. But if you got a large number of deer herd, and I got a pretty good deer herd over there, them 2 bags last the whole year. So going out and buying, 10 or 11 pills and putting it in a lick each year, or 10 or 11 trophy deer minerals, you don't need that much. I'm just trying to save you guys money, try to help you out here. You don't need that. All right, let's see what we got for some questions here, guys. If we got any. Excuse me. About half horse tonight. Chris Ashley, lots are in trouble. Yes, praying for rain, Southern Ohio, West Virginia. I hear you, but I just got off the phone with another gentleman there from West Virginia. Scuba dryer and a popcorn fart there in Missouri. I hear you, man. Mark Coleman, good to see you on here, bud. Jason Buell, I know you're hooked on them Graniac blocks now, bud. Them Graniac blocks, I would give anything if I could use them blocks in Illinois. Anything. Probably a good thing I don't, because I'd probably be broke. Game Changer Clover looking good, Jason. I'm glad to hear that. Mark Coleman, your acorn trees loaded this year. So are the apple trees, hoping the deer gets them. I'll start hanging next to your food plots. Absolutely, man. I have noticed the apple trees around here, even though we've been in this drought, they are just loaded, breaking branches down. Now, here at the house, I can step outside, and I got 575 acres here, and I got some outbuildings around here pretty close. And there ain't a time I can't step outside and the acorns are hitting the roofs. You can hear them hitting the metal roofs. I mean, the acorns are dropping, and they're dropping too early. Actually, they were green as a gourd. So they're starving for that moisture. Them trees are just letting them go, and I hate to see that. I like to see them getting a little more matured out and dried out. But they are just dropping everywhere. I went down yesterday and hooked up my big flatbed trailer, and it's a 20-foot long trailer, and the whole metal deck of that, there was just green acorns all over that trailer deck. I got up there and had to broom them all off, and it's just amazing how they're dropping already, which is going to hurt come season. Some ways it'll hurt, other ways it'll be better. As long as the green food plots will start growing. If the food plots don't grow, it's not going to be good. Rick, you're asking, how do you keep deer around the property? I hope I answered some of that already, but again, bud, I don't know if you're able to do supplemental feeding. Supplemental feeding is a great way to do it. You know, a good mineral lick's a good way to do it. Food plots. The number one thing to keep deer on your property is the least amount of pressure you can give them. I mean, I know guys that have a lot of deer in their area, but they can't keep the four-wheelers out of the woods. They can't keep running back and forth, checking trail cameras and all that. And it continues to push them deer out, and they go find them another home, which I know you already know that, bud, but I'm just adding that. But the biggest thing is that the deer needs food, water, and security. They need a place to sleep and not be afraid. So, you know, watering holes, a lot of people, I'm lucky enough on all my properties, I got creeks and everything running through them. Right now, most of them are pretty dry. I got a few little holes in a couple of them. Knock on wood, no EHD finds yet. I've heard of a few, but I haven't seen any myself. None here at the house. I found 11. I found 11 deer here last year, EHD kills. One really good buck. But I haven't found any this year, knock on wood. But water, you know, water, security, and food, they got to have it. Jeff Johnson, good to see you on here, bud. I see you've been busy building furniture like always. Look like you had a little girl in there helping you. But you know, guys, I look at the piece of ground I have in Indiana. We actually did a video here a while back about it on our trophy product page. But I'm a big believer in small feeding programs, as in bed to agriculture. I like giving the deer something in between, just for feeding. I do it through the winter time there. I use our rack maker religiously there when season's out. And it's usually just a small 100 to 150 pound feeder. A lot of them just strap on a tree. Some go on fence posts. I like giving them deer something that when they're going out to that agriculture, they can stop and eat and get a good digestive aid, go out and eat in that corn or soybeans, whatever they are, but mostly the corn. They fill their bellies up on that corn, and on their way back, the camera shows the proof of it. They come right back to that feeder. They hit that feeder. They hit that Graniac block. But with that feeder, they're getting that digestive aid right in there with them, and they're going back to bed. So that's what I really like doing when it comes to helping the deer out. When I don't want to run, you know, a big monstrous feeder, why not use the grain that the farmer has out there in that field? They can go out there, it's their natural browse, but I'm giving them the digestive aid they need to store that grain properly. So it's just not going in one end and out the other. So that's what I'm doing there with these smaller ones. And I really enjoy doing that. I've seen a lot of success doing that, watching the deer every year. I've done it for about 6 years now. Works very, very well, because usually that time of the year, you know, it's cold. They're not hitting the mineral licks. They're not getting the aid they need out of the mineral licks with the ground being frozen. So they like them little gravity fed feeders, and and it doesn't break the bank either. So they don't seem to eat as much. Now, if you put a big feeder out there and you had it pouring to them, and I've noticed because I've tried it before, they stand around there and eat all night long. But if they're going to that agricultural field, they come in there, get them a few bites, and go on. So it works out very well. Yeah, exactly. That is crazy, John, about the acorns. They've been dropping for 3 weeks already. It's nuts. Jason Rivers talking about the Graniac block. You cannot beat that block. That block. The only negative thing about that block is, and it's the biggest sales pitch ever, but it's the truth. The deer like it way too much. They eat it way too quick. You get a deer on one, and they just. I get them where the deer. I have a camera over a Graniac block, and next thing you know, no Graniac block. Well, I'm 50 miles away. Yeah, 50 miles away from the property there in Indiana, and I'll go over there and they have the blocks rolled over here and over there. They just them old does just pull them around, paw at them, bust them apart. I mean, it's crazy. You got to go chase the blocks and put them back. 2 days later, they're gone again. I try to miss somebody here, guys. You guys all getting ready for season, getting everything set up. It's going to be here before we know it. I think some of you guys getting ready to start here. We don't start till October 1st, but it's going to be here before we know it. We're already going into our going our second week here of September. Nuts, unbelievable. But no, like I say, that's why I kind of wanted to jump on here tonight. Just kind of talk about a little bit about supplemental feeding. Um, you can supplemental feed with food plots as well, as long as Mother Nature treats you right. Just like me here, I plant our trophy clover mix for the protein. I plant our honey hole for the high energy. That's just something I give the deer all year because I mean throughout the year because I know it's going to help them. I can't supplemental feed them here in Illinois like I can my other property in Indiana. So I'm trying to do that my best through the seed mixes, and I've done it for going on 30 years now, and have very good success doing it. So don't think just because you can't feed that it can't be done. So yes, I wish I could run minerals. Yes, I wish I could use my little hanging feeders to and from bedding to fill. I wish I could, but I can't, and that's not worth the hassle of getting caught doing it. There ain't no deer out there alive for that. The biggest thing I can say talking about that, because I hear a lot of people say it, I don't care if I can't feed in my state, if it's getting cold and nasty weather, I'm going to go out there and feed them deer while it's cold. Well, the worst thing you can ever do to a deer herd is wait till that weather gets cold. Take a product such as our rack maker or Graniac blocks, any feed, straight corn, anything, no matter what you try putting out for them, go out there and feed them for a week and then stop. Because them deer are used to surviving on their natural browse. They know what to look for. They know what to find to keep them warm, keep that fat back, trying to build that fat on them. They know their natural browse. If you go out there and supplemental feed them for a day, 3 days, whatever, you're going to see that deer it's going to go downhill, not uphill, because that deer is going to be used to coming to that feed. It's going to be ready for that feed every night, and it's not out looking for its natural browse. Let that deer look for its natural browse if you're in an area that you can't feed legally. So you'll hurt the deer more than you help that deer by feeding just for a short period of time, because I guarantee the temperature is going to go up and down, below zero, above zero, back and forth. And all them times you're not going to run out and feed that deer when it's cold like that. Let them deer survive on their own. They've done it for years and years and years. Mother Nature can be cruel and can take some of them that way, but you can actually hurt them more than you can help them by just doing that. Yeah, Jeff, raccoons and squirrels go crazy over them too. Man, it is. I get that question a lot as well. And I know you hear me tell this a lot because I take every phone call and every email. So my two phones are blowing up daily. If I ever hear anything negative about a Grainiac block, as people say, well, the raccoons like them, well, the bears like them, well, the squirrels like them too. There ain't a block out there that's grain-based block that they won't eat them. So if I could ever come up with a Grainiac block that the deer like, just like this Grainiac block, that a raccoon and a squirrel wouldn't eat, it'd be stupid. I wouldn't be here on the podcast. I'd be out in Wyoming hunting somewhere doing something. I'll tell you that right now. So it's they're going to eat them. You know, that's just that's just the how do I want to say it? That's just grain for you. You know, now you get out there with like our apple burst mineral block, our 20-pound apple burst mineral block. The deer aren't. I don't know if I got one up here or not. I do back here in the back, but you're not gonna see the squirrels, coons, stuff like that eat on them because it's mineral. But grain based, they are going to eat it just like they're going to eat corn in a feeder. They're going to eat rack maker in a feeder. They're going to eat attractant fuel. They don't like the pellets, so protein pellets pretty good. But other than that, they're going to eat them. So that's just part of the course right there. Happens to all of them. Floyd Young, you're right. Too much protein will burn fat off in deer. Yep. Keep it 16% or less when it comes to the fall and winter months of the year. Need to build them bodies back up for them. All right, guys, what kind of questions you got here? I can just keep rambling, but I'd rather answer your questions if you got them. I don't even care if they're food plot questions. What you got? Throw them my way. I'll help you out here. And instead of me just rambling on about supplemental feeding, I pretty much told you everything that you need to know, and I know about it. So all I see on here is everybody except two people is on here complaining about rain. Two people on here are very, very lucky. I'm telling you right now. Mark's asking, is there a reason why Lick Magic is in a bucket versus a bag? Yeah, there actually is a reason. I'm trying to figure out how I can say it without saying it wrong. Let's just say we want to give everybody a bucket. So that I'm just going to go with that reason, Mark. Not saying that's all of it, but we wanted everybody to have a nice bucket that they can carry around the farm and throw stuff in. I know one thing. I had some product to test that we could be coming out with, and I got a bunch of it sent to me in Lick Magic buckets to test out on my Indiana farm to get some pictures on, see how the deer like it. I think I end up with 4 of them buckets. I use them buckets all the time. Them buckets are the best thing in the world to use. They're not too big, not too small. I use them for everything. I'll tell you the truth though, Mark, if we put it in a bag, they'd be cheaper. That's the thing. No, buckets are expensive. But I'll tell you what, everybody that uses them, uses Lick Magic, all they talk about is how they like the bucket. So I think we're going to stick with the bucket. Gerald, it's good to see you on here, bud. Got your plots in, waiting on a little more rain. I'm just waiting on some rain. I'm telling you right now. Man, I need some rain bad, but I'm glad you got them in, though. I'm glad to see you on here. Well, where we go here? Rick, you're talking about you can't find some of these in Oklahoma. I understand, especially out there. You're going to start seeing a lot more of our product get in some stores out there. We actually got a rep group running around because we've always been a northern-based company. and we're just starting to get down in the South. So, Oklahoma, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, all that, we're getting down in that area, Louisiana. Um, Tractor Supply is down in that area in certain areas of the different states. They carry our product. Bad thing about it is the stores don't carry a lot of it, and they don't carry it very long because the people buy it out and they only run a deer event, and you only get it through that winter or that fall. As soon as it's gone, just like all the other products in there for the hunting category. Uh, but one thing about it is a lot of the Tractor Supplies, they will order the product for you and get it shipped in. You might have to wait a week or so to get it, but they order it in for you, or you can just get right online and order it from us with free shipping. So, but one good thing to do, if any guys are out there looking for product and you're not finding your area, get on the website, look at our locator search, type in your zip code, put in how many mile radius you want, and see what's around your area. You might be surprised on some small mom and pop shops that's already getting it in there down the southern part. Gerald, you're talking about your Graniac blocks and your Lick Magic are on fire. Phone's blowing up as we speak. I hear you, bud. Yes, sir. That would make them blow up. Jeff Johnson, when is the best time to start putting out down and dirty protein blocks? Sorry, for the winter, during the winter. I usually start between Christmas and New Year's. Is there a better block out there other than Graniac for over the winter? The down and dirty block, Jeff, I would wait. So that's a very high in protein block. I would get that through. I wouldn't be putting that down and dirty out in your area, especially in Wisconsin. It would probably be April. I probably wouldn't put it out till about April, May, truthfully, probably April. But we do have another good block out there, and it's a little cheaper than the Graniac. It's not as good as a Graniac, but the deer will devour it. Called the Trophy Block. You'll find it on the website too. Trophy Block is a very good block, very similar to the Graniac. A few little ingredients different there, a little change. But it is cheaper in price too. So that Trophy Deer block would be a good one to put out through the winter as well. Oh, John, you live right by Kalmbach. Heck, I didn't know that, bud. Back up here. There we go. All right, sorry about that, guys. South Alabama, Ronnie, good to see you on here, bud. I appreciate the love for Antler King, man. Glad to see you on here. Drew, you got a dealer there in your hometown of Austin. That's perfect. Oh, Austin Anthony. I'm sorry. Austin Anthony. Great. Yeah, actually, yeah. Austin's selling a lot of product, bud. I just actually talked to him yesterday or day before about a cotton candy question. He sells the heck out of that cotton candy. That's another real good feed that we have that you can feed, but it's higher in protein, so it's more of a growing season type mix. Got Floyd Young, my pro staffers on here. Been double plotting in the fall with trophy clover and my fall blends. When I only have one plot that I can do on my property to provide high energy in the fall, winter, needed nutrients in the spring. What are your thoughts on ratios and doing a practice? I think this is what you're asking, Floyd. I think if I only have one plot, and it's really going to depend on how big it is too, but if I only have one plot, number one, I'm going to plant trophy clover. Okay, I want that protein. I want to have trophy clover, good 7-year growth mix. One of my trophy clovers is 19 years old this year. It's either 19 or 20. Might be 20 now. Heck, I can't remember. But now, yes, you need that high energy. I'm going with honey hole in my area. I get farther south, I'm going to go with like Southern Greens, something like that down in the southern states. But I'm going to go with honey hole always for my energy here in the Midwest. But I don't like mixing them together. I like planting them either side by side or plant my trophy clover in the springtime of the year, and then on the outskirt edge of it, till up an area around it, the plant the honey hole around it, uh, or plant the trophy clover, plant strips of honey hole through it in the fall, anything like that. I just do not like mixing them two products together. I don't like mixing anything except chicory with my trophy clover, and it comes with the chicory. So um, that's just the perfect amount of protein, the perfect amount of energy. And with that honey hole, you're going to get more tonnage out of the honey hole, energy tonnage, than you will with any of our other products out of just one bag. So that's why I go with it, and very easy to grow. Derek Jones, what happened to Antler King Bone Up? The big bags of that, bud, the main reason we got rid of them, we wanted to come out with a Lick Magic, which is similar, very similar, actually a little bit better, as an attractant type mineral. But the big bags just weren't going over very well in retail just because they were so big, heavy, and bulky. And online sales, it was killing people for the price of it online just because of the free shipping. It is a little higher online. Um, so, as a retail price, the stores just weren't wanting to bring them big bags in as much, even though we had very good sales with them. That's why we went down with the Lick Magic, sweetened that mix up a little bit more, made it better. It's actually a better mineral. Mineral content that's in that is better than the Bone Up. So that's why we did it, Derek. Daniel Hall, there in Ohio. Good to see you on here, bud. Good deal, Drew. He ordered you that cotton candy. That's good. Rick, you're asking if we have any testers in Oklahoma. How we normally do our testing is by actually us employees, our TV shows, and their pro staff. So yeah, I do know we got a few in Oklahoma that do for one of our TV shows, but we pretty much got all that covered all around. We did have some there in Texas for a while. We were having issues there in Texas trying to find some people, but we end up one of our TV shows bought a whole bunch of ground in Texas, so now he's testing a lot of our products out, like our Southern Greens. That's where it got tested out to see just how good the deer like them collard greens, because it doesn't need that frost on them. But yeah, that's just kind of how we do our testing process, and then the rest of it's all in house. Oh, Danny Robinson's on here. Another one I talked to the other night. All right, guys, who am I missing here? We're getting down to the wire here. Don't want to miss anybody's questions. I know I fly through these here. Actually, Floyd, I just went past yours again. I see you put on their ratios. I'm always going to give the deer, I don't want to say this, the best way to follow it. I'm probably going to do more of a 60-40 when it comes to clover in my honey hole. 60% clover, 40% honey hole. I'm not very good at math, so I had to think about that real quick, make sure that equaled 100. But because I know you'd call me out on it. But no, it's I just like running that because the tonnage of food you will get out of that honey hole is just phenomenal. So you don't really need to go like a 50-50 or anything like that. 40% of it being honey hole is a very good ratio that I have found. And no overseeding heavy. Do not overseed that heavy. If you're going to do anything, seed it light. I know you heard me tell you that a million times. I just keep telling it to everybody to hear it. Just going through here, guys, see what we got. I think I got all your questions here. I think, guys, I'm looking for some more. We got about 10 more minutes on here. It's showing on this one. Brian, I hear you. I wish I could use mineral supplements here in Illinois too, just like you can't in Michigan. It's worthless, man. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, seen of. And I can't speak for you out there, but I truly believe the insurance companies run the state of Illinois. They want every deer dead because of deer vehicle accidents. I think they just want them all dead. They don't want healthy deer. They want them all gone so they quit getting these claims. I truly, truly think a lot of money comes from these insurance companies. I could be completely wrong, but I really do. Steven, your Antler King camouflage hat won't be back in stock. Are you talking the leather bill one like this one here, bud? Or are you just talking about the plain camo? Floyd, the orange one? And truthfully, because the reason I'm saying the plain camo is in stock. The leather bill one and the orange one, we're switching vendors right now because they jacked the price up and you guys wouldn't want to pay for what you have to pay for them because we're not going to pay that much. We still have companies out there playing this COVID card of hard to get products and stuff like that. I think swag is the most cutthroat, hardest thing ever to do because they all want to just keep raising these up and raising them where before too long, you're not going to be able to sell a shirt. I mean, yeah, look, bud. I don't know why that's showing that's out of stock because we got a whole bunch of them in stock. I better look that website. If that website's showing they're out of stock, I will get on that tomorrow morning first thing with Kendra and see what's going on there because we just got a whole big shipment of the plain camos in. Okay, I will definitely take a look at that tomorrow and get that straightened out because we should, unless somebody went and bought a whole pallet full of them, that we should. Uh, but I'll tell you guys right now, because a lot of people complain about the prices of the hats and everything right now. This leather bill hat, the crazy thing is, my pro staffers know all about it. This leather bill hat right here, I don't even get a discount on this leather bill hat because we make $1 off of them. For what we get, for what we have on the website and paying the shipping, we make $1 off of them. So it's just ridiculous. And now they're wanting to raise it quite a bit more than that for this last shipment. And we said, no, we're not doing it. So I apologize for the swag, but it's just something that it's got to be affordable to you guys for you to buy it. And I'm embarrassed at the pricing that the swag is right now, but we don't make nothing off of it. Nothing. Hardly at all. And I know that sounds like crap, but I'm not lying one bit. But no, Stephen, I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I'll pull it up tonight and I'll get a hold of Kendra in the office in the morning and get this figured out. I appreciate it very, very much. We've been trying to get the leather bill ones for I can't tell you how long, and we're going to have to switch it all over. Just looking back here real quick again, guys. Got something else? Let me know. They're showing about 7 minutes here, and they're going to kick me off. I can ramble all I can, but I'd rather help you guys out with any kind of questions you got. So, one thing I will talk about, the Jolt fertilizer for the annuals right now. If you start getting some rain coming in, don't be afraid when them plants get out of that dormant stage from being so dry and a drought. When they start coming back to life, pour that Jolt fertilizer to them. I mean, I got mine waiting. Soon as it starts to rain, I'm going to be pouring it to it, but they need to be back in their growing state. So don't be afraid to put the fertilizer to them as long as you're getting some good moisture. Now with the Jolt, You don't have to worry about all the moisture coming in afterwards. You just got to have a good amount of moisture to get that plant out of that dormancy and get growing again. You spray it on there, you're good to go. You're not going to burn that plant. So if you're using granular fertilizer, really watch it. But that'll really help them high energy food plot plants by spraying that Joel on there and give them a kickstart again to give you the most forage it can and what short growing period it's going to have left with winter coming in. And another thing, I spoke about this before. This power rock we have, this mineral, I have not tried it with the Lick Magic, but with the power rack, I had a good friend of mine test it one time in his 300-gallon water tank, and the deer literally would drink it dry. And after doing some studying with it, the deer are getting a lot out of that. And it's really odd. We knew something had to be up with it because the deer would actually bed on the backside of a pond, walk down to the pond edge, walk around the pond, go across to get to that every day, every evening. They would never hit that pond first like always before. So that's something else as a supplemental feeding to help get them the nutrients they need. That power rack is very good in a watering tank. Well, guys, I'll tell you this before we get off here. This is the last podcast for this year. So the deer season's starting up. I want to be hunting. You guys want to be hunting. You don't want to be sitting here listening to me. Uh, don't get me wrong. I might throw one or two in there here and there. You never know. I might throw something in there sometime uh, about a few different things. But this is actually on schedule. The last one is tonight. And I really want to appreciate I really appreciate and want to tell all you guys how much I really care for you jumping on here. I love teaching this stuff. I love preaching food plots, deer nutrition. You know, I learned from the best, Todd Siddleberg. I mean, he's forgot more than I'll ever know. But I mean, he's been a heck of a mentor, and I like carrying on what he has done for so many years for so many people. I want to continue that on, and I'm here to do it. I'm willing to do it. I'm happy to do it. Uh, I will say for the ones that I won't talk to regularly, there's some good things coming out for next year that actually includes me on something a little different for Antler King that I'm really looking forward to. I can't say nothing about it right now because we're working on the budget for it now, but I'm really, if it happens, I'm going to be very happy. And I'm going to be able to bring some people in with me to share some stuff with it and everything. So, but guys, you know, I'm on social media. You can call me, you can text me. I do it all the time. I'm going to put it on here again tonight just because I know a lot of people come back and watch these over and over. If you do not have my phone number, get a piece of paper or listen to this later because I'm going to give you my phone number. I'm going to give you my email. So you can email me, you can call me. My phone is on 7 days a week. If I don't answer it, I'm usually on the other line or on my other phone. So I always give out my personal phone number. I do not give out the work number just because sometimes on the weekends I'll have it sitting in the truck because 99% of the people always call me. I'll get 75 calls on this personal phone and 3 on the work phone because everybody knows this number for me doing it over the last 18 years. So I just started carrying a work phone here a couple of years ago, and everybody just knows my personal. So, but here, my personal number, if you need anything, if you just want to talk, you kill a deer and want to send me a picture, send it to me. I love seeing them. You need food plot or deer nutritional information, call me, text me, email me. But my personal phone number is 217-621-3289. 217-621-3289. And my email address is robbie@antlerking.com. ROBIE@antlerking.com. Call me, email me, text me. I'm here to help in any way I can. I enjoy doing it. I hope all you guys have some great success next year. And like I say, get a hold of me. I'm willing to help in any way I can. So good luck this fall for the ones of you that I won't talk to and the ones I will, but especially the ones I won't talk to. Good luck this fall. Go out there and kill a big one, or just have fun killing whatever you want to kill. So you guys take care. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.